Hi, my name's Janelle and welcome back to Rosery Apparel. Today I'm back with some more sewing projects, this time with a little bit of a baking theme. Each of these projects can be made in about half an hour or definitely within an afternoon, and each one would also make a really lovely gift for the baker in your life. So let's get into it and let me show you some of my favourite baking sewing projects. First, let me show you how to make an oven mitt. For this project you'll need a main and contrasting fabric, some wadding or batting to create a heat protection layer on the inside of the mitt, and you'll also need some bias binding. Out of your main fabric and the wadding, cut 2 rectangles that measure approximately 85 centimeters or 33.5 inches by 22 centimeters or 8.5 inches. Then from your contrasting fabric, cut out 2 rectangles that measure approximately 25 centimeters or 9.5 inches by 22 centimeters or 8.5 inches. Also cut the same 2 rectangles out of the same measurements from your wadding and also from a lining fabric. So all up you should have the following pieces. Next, take a round plate or a lid that is the same width as your rectangles and use it as a template to round off the edges of the rectangles. Do the same for one edge of the smaller rectangles like this. And now your pieces should look a little something like this. Take one of the lining pieces of the smaller rectangles and place the wadding piece onto it. Then place the contrasting rectangle on top of the wadding, making sure that the wrong sides of your fabric are facing the wadding. Then pin the bias binding to the layers with right sides together and then stitch all of the layers together, making sure to stitch into the crease of the bias binding like this. Trim away the excess fabric, and then turn and press the bias binding towards the contrasting fabric side. Then stitch the bias binding in place. These are going to be the oven mitt pockets. Next, take one of the remaining wadding pieces and then place the main fabric rectangle on top. Again, making sure that the wrong side is facing the wadding. Then place the pockets onto the main fabric, lining up the curved edges together, and then place the other main rectangle on top, and then the wadding rectangle on top of that. Then stitch all of the layers together, leaving a small opening along one of the sides like this. Trim away the excess fabric and then turn the oven mitt right side out. Top stitch along the entire outside edge, sewing the opening in the side closed as you sew. And your oven mitt is complete. Next, let's make a KitchenAid mixer cover. For reference, here are the measurements of my KitchenAid mixer, so if your stand mixer is a similar size, this project will work perfectly for you. Start by cutting out 2 rectangles that are approximately 80 centimeters or 31.5 inches by 40 centimeters or 15.75 inches. This cover is going to be reversible, so I recommend using 2 different fabrics if you can. Then also cut out 4 smaller rectangles that measure approximately 33 centimeters or 13 inches by 30 centimeters or 11.75 inches, 2 of each of your fabrics. Then cut the same out of some lightweight iron-on interfacing and iron the interfacing onto the wrong side of each fabric rectangle. And you should now have the following pieces, each with some interfacing ironed onto the wrong side to give the finished cover a little bit of structure. Next, cut one edge of the smaller rectangles into a curve, again using a round plate or a lid that is a similar size to the rectangle as a template. Fold the larger rectangles in half and press a crease line at the centre. Then do the same for the curved pieces. Then with right sides together, pin the curved pieces to the large rectangle, matching the centre creases together. Pinning the rectangle to the curved edge can be a little bit tricky, so I recommend using lots of pins for this part. Once pinned in place, stitch the two pieces together. Then repeat this process for your contrasting fabric. Next, clip the curved edge and then turn the cover right side out. Using an iron, press the bottom raw edge in by about 1 centimeter or half an inch. Then do the same for the contrasting fabric piece. Then place the contrasting fabric piece inside the other, and with wrong sides together, pin the two pieces together along the pressed up edge, matching the seams together. Then stitch the two pieces together along the bottom edge. And your super cute KitchenAid cover is complete. Simply turn it inside out if you'd like to change up the look of it. Next, let me show you how to make this vintage inspired half apron. Start by cutting out a rectangle of fabric that measures approximately 90 centimeters or 35.5 inches by 55 centimeters or 21.5 inches. You'll also need to cut out a long rectangle of fabric that measures 150 centimeters or 59 inches by 10 centimeters or 4 inches. And optionally, you can cut out two small squares that measure 15 by 15 centimeters or 6 inches by 6 inches that will be turned into some pockets. You could cut these out in the same fabric or out of some contrasting fabric like me. Start by changing the stitch length of your sewing machine to the longest possible setting, and sew 2 rows of gathering stitches along one of the longer edges of your main rectangle. Then gently pull on the top 2 threads to gather up the fabric until it measures approximately 70 centimeters or 27.5 inches. Next, fold and press the non-gathered raw edges in by about 1 centimeter or half an inch twice. And then stitch them in place. Next, take the long rectangle of fabric and fold and press one of the longer edges in by about 1 centimeter or half an inch. Also press the 2 shorter ends in by the same amount. Then with right sides together, pin the long rectangle of fabric to the gathered edge of the other rectangle, and then stitch them together. Give the gathers a good press, and at the same time press the other edge of the long rectangle in by about 1 centimeter or half an inch. And then fold and press the long rectangle in half, enclosing the gathered edge of the other rectangle inside. Pin and stitch the folded long rectangle in place. Next, remove any exposed gathering stitches with a seam ripper, and your apron is coming together nicely. You could leave your apron as it is, or you could add some cute square pockets to the front. Take the fabric squares we cut out earlier and fold and press each edge in by about 1 centimeter or half an inch twice. Then stitch one of the edges in place. Place your pocket pieces onto the front of your apron approximately 16 centimeters or 6.5 inches from the top and 23 centimeters or 9 inches from the sides, making sure that the stitched edge of the pocket is at the top. Once pinned in place, stitch the remaining 3 edges of the pocket onto the apron. And your adorable half apron is complete. I've shared a tutorial for a full apron in another video, and I'll have a link to that video down in the description below if you'd like to have a go at that instead. And lastly, let me quickly show you how to make some linen tea towels. Start by cutting a 55 by 75 centimeter or 21.5 by 29.5 inch rectangle out of some medium to thick weight linen fabric. Then fold and press all 4 raw edges in by about 1 centimeter or half an inch. Then stitch the folded edges in place, and your tea towel is complete. Like I said, these are so quick and easy to make, and a set of these would make such a lovely gift idea. Throughout this video, I've been baking a delicious apple pie, and I'll be sure to leave the recipe I used down in the description below because it was so delicious. And it was so much fun putting in a little bit of extra effort to make it look really pretty as well. If you have a go at any of the projects I shared in this video, then I would love to see them. So be sure to tag me at Rosery Apparel when you share your photos on Instagram. And if you did enjoy this video, it would mean a lot to me if you could give it a like and subscribe to my channel for more sewing videos like this one. Have a lovely day and thanks for watching.